Etcheverry making a run, tracked by Bertolt, also by Matthäus, and Bremer has it. And there are 8 minutes remaining, but there's an incident off the ball, and Etcheverry's off. He's only been on the pitch about 3 minutes, and he's been sent off for what I have to say, at first sight, seemed innocuous enough. But no doubt the replay will tell its own story. Now, this is what happened. As they went for the ball, down he went, and then what? Well, we didn't really see, but clearly something took place there, which the referee saw.
No, they have it all wrong. There was no elbows, there was no foots, there was nothing. That was the Olivian Gallia. It's part of their nature, like your man, Gullit. So he was at it as well in the last World Cup. Now, what it is this. They do eat berries, poison berries, and the hair off of coconuts. And they do secretions in their throat. And when they're raised, out it comes, boom, gone, right in the neck, and it festers in the side of the neck. So they're born to it, they're reared to it. Now, we used to do something the same. Like, what we'd do is we'd chew a 5-day-old turnover, and you'd let it get into a lump in your throat, and bang, right in the middle of the forest, 30 yards from the referee. Perfect. Oh, no. Now, the man, though, to watch was the fella with the very bad head cold. That was the worst Gallier of the lot. Oh, ole.
Well, some time ago, at the very start of the programme, we showed you Ireland leaving their headquarters in New Jersey. They've reached the Meadowlands Stadium. We're going to show them now walking the stadium, getting used to the facilities and the climate and the atmosphere. And I'm sure the atmosphere is magnificent because so many of the Irish have gone, this great big diaspora from all over the States and various parts of the world to enjoy Ireland's first match in the World Cup in America. Well, you get some idea of the heat there, I think, obviously, and of course they're expecting quite a few people to faint in the crowd, and they're talking of 120 on the pitch. There's Niall Quinn. Cascarino, who of course has been injured and may come on at some stage, you never know. You get some idea of the crowd. The crowd would be absolutely enormous, but OK, well, you saw a glimpse of Niall Quinn there, and after that, Niall went up to the commentary position with George Hamilton, and they join us now.
Well, Niall, it's finally arrived, the big day, and here in Giant Stadium, it couldn't be more atmospheric in an American sense.
That's right, yeah. We all knew the Americans would make a glitzy job of it, but even they've surpassed what we thought would happen. It's incredible out here today. Mix that together with the heat, and you've got one sort of power-packed energy game with all the crowd going to be the same. It's the atmosphere. It's unbelievable.
Okay, take us through the day. You've been with the players most of the day, and we last spoke to you when you departed from the hotel. How was the ride in?
Unbelievable. You want to see these guys. The card school were still playing. They even brought the cards into the dressing room. I mean, I'm up at the front of the bus, a nervous wreck, and the rest of them, it's another game. But that got a little bit... it didn't quite stay like that as they entered the dressing room area. And there was quite some touching moments in there, you know, little pats on the back here and there, and this is a big occasion. And if I could just, one brief thing that I thought was very touching, Terry Phelan, I remember rooming with him when Billy Bremner rang him. We were running the under-18 Irish team, and he got a free transfer. And we both said to each other, one day we'd both make it to the World Cup. And here we were in the dressing room, and we shook hands, we threw our arms around each other, and he's going out there with that kind of thing behind him, power-packed sort of, you know, dramatic if you like, but it's that day, isn't it? It's that kind of day when stuff like that will make things work.
Absolutely. Was there any talk at all about the opposition? Were they thinking about 6 AC Milan players in the team?
Jack has always tried to install to us to let them worry about us, and I mean, if we were to start worrying, if the lads started talking now half an hour ago about the strengths of Baggio, etc., Barisi, it would upset, you know, the normal routine. So they're out there. Jack won't let them come out and do a warm-up. They're not allowed out in the heat. That's the big thing in the dressing room now. Save all your energy because they're going to need it here.
I'd say they will. Well, let's hope it's a good one. We'll talk again at half-time.
Great.
Right, OK, and we'll be joining Niall and George in Meadowlands in about 10 minutes' time. Let's join the panel now for discussion. And first of all, Joe Kinnear, you weren't with us last night. You were at that stag party in Cork. Was it good?
Excellent. We had a marvellous night, and we ended up having half a cork back to the hotel. But really, it's a marvellous atmosphere. Everybody's geared out and really keyed up for tonight's game.
You brought many of your team over, of course, and a lot of footballers. What was their view of the Irish hopes today?
Well, mixed views. Most of them had gone for a draw. I think my personal view myself is I think it's in key areas. But I think that Ireland will win tonight, my own personal view. I think it'll be 1-0.
Well, I want actually to be very upbeat tonight before we get into the game. And John Giles, you and I were having a conversation before this, and you were saying to me, we are now a world team, and world-class team, we shouldn't forget it.
Yeah, I think since the '90 World Cup, we have developed even further than we did before. And I think we should consider ourselves one of the major forces in Europe. We've gone to Holland and Germany. Although the friendly matches, we still won and played well. So I don't think there should be any fear tonight to say, there's a lot of talk, well, we've got to draw against Italy, it'll be a good result. But if it's there for the win, or the win is there for the taking, I think we should really go for that. And I think Jack has announced the team yesterday with Sheridan in it, and he's talking more like that now in a much more positive manner than we did 4 years ago. And I think that's right.
Frank, is the win there for the taking in your judgment?
It's not there just for the taking. I think we've got to earn it. But I think we've got the players with the ability to actually get it. Yeah. You know, everybody goes on about the Italians all the time. I made this point last night in the forum discussion. We've got stars in R.T.E, and people fear them. And we've got to use that as much as the Italians use their star quality and talk about a star quality against, or when they're talking about playing other teams.
Yeah, I can't help feeling though that behind the whole party atmosphere there's a lack of self-belief in some respects. And maybe partly it comes, Joe, from the fact that this is the first time we'll have played 5 across midfield in a competitive game. Now, what does that mean?
I think the key thing about that is how Italy are going to cope with that. I mean, Sheringham will be the spare man. And I'd like to see Sheringham sort of sit in front of the 2 centre-halves and then maybe cut off the supply. I mean, Italy have got to get the ball up to Baggio and Signori. And I think if we have one in front of those two, I think we'll cut the supply off to them. I mean, they're the 2 key players there. And I can't see Italy coping with it. I really can't. I think the game's there to be won tonight. And I think the disappointing thing about it, when you look at the Italian manager, Arrigo Sacchi, he's been saying all the good things, all the positive things about Ireland, about how good they are closing down, how good they are winning the ball in key areas, how good they are doing this and doing that. What Jack's got to do now is capitalise on that and make sure he says to the players today, you know, don't disappoint. Go out there and do exactly what they're frightened of and don't disappoint.
I think this is a time we've been waiting for a long time. You know, in the old days we had a huge inferiority complex going into all matches. And I think since the last World Cup and the results since, we have proved that we are a nation now, or a football nation, that is there with the best. And I think Jack does believe that now. I think with the selection of Sheridan and the way the team has evolved through Quinn's injury and Cascarino's injury with Coyne in front and the 5 in the midfield, I think we will play good football. And I think we will have go at the Italians. I think when you go into any match, you can only have a team capable of winning, and it depends what happens on the night. Now, if we have a team capable of winning, which we have, then it's a question of belief and the moral courage to go out and do it.
But Frank, may I bring up a point with you that Jack Charlton has made over and over again? You were in Italy as part of the World Cup squad, and he said that Ireland went to Italy for the party. And this time it's completely different. Now, I suspect that that's only all hype anyway, isn't it? You didn't go for the party, you went to do well.
No, I think...
Or is it completely different this time in your judgment?
Well, it's the expectation. We keep coming up with this word, but it's there. You can see it about the country. There's a bigger hype than there was in 1990, which is amazing, really, when you think about how the heights we reached in Italy. But Jack played it down in 1990, and everybody went along with that. And he tried to play it down at Dublin Airport before the lads left. But you can't, the expectation is there. We've beaten major soccer forces in the world this year. And once you've done that, you can't look to just say, well, if we lose, it's a moral victory. That's gone out the door. That's all finished.
So the agenda is completely different. No, one of the problems, John, and maybe you can talk us through a few of the inserts we're going to show, is the capability we have or have not to score goals.
Well,
So let's have a look now at the goals we scored against Germany, for instance.
yeah, I think what we've done in the past, Bill, everybody talks about we're not capable of scoring goals. We have scored more goals than the opposition, which is the main thing. And where the goals come from, it doesn't matter. And now this was the German goal, and young Kelly does extremely well. Sorry, it was a McAteer. McAteer does well there. Gets across, and Cascarino comes in. Now, that was a really good, high-class goal against world-class opposition. And, got a little deflection there. Cascarino comes onto and heads it in.
Yeah, but what significance do you place in the fact that these 3 players involved in that movement are not playing today?
Well, I think it shows the strength of the squad. And I think when you have a system, the players then fit into the particular system that Jack has had. And what they proved in the German match or the Dutch matches when we were supposed to be under strength was that he had players who could come in and fit into the positions. Now, for tonight's game, what Jack thinks are better players than played against Holland and Germany are playing tonight because he's picking his best 11 for the competitive match. So it should be strengthened. But I think it's a great bonus that, like, young Kelly come into the side, McAteer come into the side as new players and fitted into it well and played extremely well. I mean, against Holland, we were supposed to be very, very under strength and went out and played well and did it. So there's a system there, the players can come into it, they know about it, they can fit into it comfortably.
Right, well, we've got another goal from that German match, Kelly's goal. Bit of a fluke in some respects because there was a deflection, but let's look at it. Let's relax and enjoy the thrill of the goal.
I think when it's your day, it's your day. And against Germany, things did go well for Ireland. Germany had a couple of chances that didn't take when it was 1-0. And Kelly does extremely well there, rides the tackle. He's such a quick lad, confident lad. The ball eventually comes back to him. Yeah. But you need breaks in the matches, and when you get a match like that, you'd like to keep that break for another game. But you have to take it as it comes. It's all on the day. And on this particular day, it was Ireland's day. It was a misplaced pass. And this is where he comes in. And I don't think he's particularly strong in his left foot, but quite rightly, when he gets into that position, he thought he'd have a go. And he didn't hit it particularly well. We got a nice deflection just to take it around the goalkeeper. You can see the goalkeeper committed to the near post, gets a little curve on it, he's falling back to try and get at it. But you take advantage of those things. You just take them. You get your bad luck, you could go in some matches and
It'd
get
be
a deflection
delightful
against
prospect, wouldn't it, to see a goal of any sort going into
Well, I think we need that
deflection
tonight.
or otherwise.
When you get a match like tonight's match, there is a rub of the green.
Yeah.
And when you get into a tight game like tonight, it can be your night. You get a deflection like that, you can separate the two teams, and hopefully it'll be on our side tonight.
I think we've got to be positive, John. I think that the point about tonight's game is that you're going to, at some point during the game, if you're getting a really run around by the other side, at some time during the game, you're going to get a chance.
Okay. And we'll hope for that chance. We're going to have to take a break at this particular time, and we'll have plenty more after the break.
Bellygowan, no other water.